Hello, 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 and welcome to the midday. Come on, midweek with the masters. This is the Biz Hub, and we want to welcome you to being a part of our program today. I'm so excited about what God is doing through the Biz Hub. Just new things, new insight, new people that He's bringing on. And so today I have with me my niece back, Tandra. She's back again, mental health coach. She's back here and she's going to be talking about some things today. But I got a special guest with me this week and actually all month long. I have which have became my new BFF. She has become my coach. She just become everything to me, influencer, somebody who's out there and helping us to thrive and do and to pivot in this moment. Kim Hunt. And Kim is bringing on a special guest with us today. We're waiting on Miss Deborah to come on and everything. Dr. Ham, pray for her because today she took a second shot and she's not feeling good, but pray for her. She's going to be back on next week. But all of this month, we've been talking all of this month about multi-level and we've been talking about the hair industry. And in this season, I feel like the hair industry is something that we need to focus on. On the 28th, we are having a program, the 25th. Get it straight, Diane. The 25th, which is a Sunday afternoon, we're going to be honoring different ones in the hair industry, and we're going to have a roundtable discussion and everything. But right now, we're going to put a pause on it, and we're going to let Kim come introduce the guest that she brought with her, and then we're just going to listen, enjoy, take notes. So at the end, if you got any questions, come on, let us know. Let us know. Kim.
Yes. Well, I just first want to say thank you and give praise and honor to God and just for Him bringing us together. Of course, we've met because of the work of Dr. Joel Dudley Sr. of Dudley Products. So if you don't know Dudley Products, it may be because Mr. Dudley, it is a second generation company. He's turned that over to his daughter. But let me tell you, if you do know about Dudley Products, definitely it's a Black-owned company that made a staple in the Black community. And Mr. Dudley wasn't only for the professional cosmetologist and in partnership with the professional cosmetologist, but he did so much work in the communities around the country. And you may also know Dudley Products from the Bobby Jones Gospel Hour on BET. And there's a whole story around that in itself. And so, yes, that is who my mentor is over the past 30 years and continues to be. So, Apostle Diane, I just want to say thank you. Wow. I want to introduce you to Miss Pearl Bailey Anderson. I've had the fortunateness of knowing Miss Pearl over the past 10 plus years, and she's doing some amazing things in the beauty industry. And she has such a story that we're going to be bringing her on a couple of times this month. But we're going to be talking about, hair loss and how it's affecting our community. And a little bit about Miss Pearl's background. She is a certified trichologist. She is a cosmetology instructor, as well as she's proficient in barbering. She is a hair restoration specialist and a hair and scalp scoping expert. Now, so I don't get it all mixed up, I'm going to ask Miss Pearl to go ahead and unmute herself and just give us a little bit of background as to what all does that mean? Because for many of us, and there's the beautiful Deborah, I was telling her, let me tell you, Miss Pearl, Deborah Glass's hairstylist is Victoria Johnson. And for many of us, we can't live without our hairstylist.
Hey.
Yeah, and Miss Pearl is one of those people you do not want to be without. So Miss Pearl, I turn this over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kim said, Pearl Bailey Anderson, and I am a board certified trichologist. And I've taken several courses in trichology because it's an ongoing study. And it's not something that you do one time. And reminds me when I go to my doctor, when they need to find out something, they keep looking it up because it changes. Certain things that we deal with, the situation, the characteristics of it change. So with trichology, it does the same thing. They come out with new findings about hair, scalp disorders. They come out with new results and new treatment plans for them. And one of the things that we do when we first started in this industry, we did just hair, press curl, relaxers, cuts, color, things of that nature. And then as we evolve, we have to leave school and go on and do what they call additional education. So continuous education is something that we do consistently. If you enjoy what you do, you're going to continue to educate yourself on it. And that's what, God has allowed me to be able to do. So with one of the focuses that I have seen most in my industry is people that have traction alopecia. And one of the reasons, we have so many reasons why people have traction alopecia, that it's really interesting when a client comes in and is like they don't know their condition. It's not like it's known to them or why the cause is, or that their stylist or barber is identifying these things for them or telling them when something does happen and whether they need to stop doing this service or that service. And so when we as a trichologist get those clients, they are kind of shocked at the information we're giving them. And my purpose in life is to educate us in continuous education on all of these conditions. As you can see, there's posters behind me. And the reason why we have those posters because we couldn't find anything that was Black in the industry. When I studied, only people I saw were white skin, scalp, babies, young people, and the only time we were identified was with traction alopecia. And then we used to be identified with only CCCA, which is central cyclophrugal cicatricial alopecia. And then they found out that people had, white men were getting the same thing. So they had to change the characteristic. They had to change the scope of why people had this particular CCCA condition. And so the continuous education portion of it allows us to investigate further, go deeper. And with traction, we have done that. Traction can come from people wearing their hair braided. They can, and that's what we were known for. That's the only picture that was in the book was people with braids and their hair blocked off with the hair loss. That's the only photo we saw. But then they missed the fact that women that work in diners also had traction alopecia. And one of the reasons why I know that when I go to a diner or a restaurant, and most of the people that are waiting on you in certain places are Caucasian women. And they all had their hair pulled back and it was slicked and gelled and all of that because of the job requirement. But that job requirement also caused a secondary condition, which was traction around the hairline. All these women that I saw had thinning hair around the hairline. They also, their ponytail, as I continued to see them, was getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So these are things that we really don't pay attention to until we wear our hair down, what condition it's in. And then a lot of people don't use a mirror. They don't use the mirror to see the back of their head, to see what condition it's in. When I give a client a mirror and have them turn around, they're really shocked. So now people are using their phones to take photos of their hair and their scalp to see what conditions it's in. But along with the traction, we are also experiencing a lot of folks that are wearing weaves, braided weaves, and their hair are being pulled back because they're putting the net on the weave. And they also are putting these bands around the head with the stocking caps to keep the wigs from falling off. That also is causing a pressure. And I see that women are losing hair in this area. So with them losing hair like that, they don't realize that that's causing the traction. Believe it or not, even your glasses can cause traction. the way you put your glasses on. So what I have always done was purchase flexible glasses. I never purchased, when I first started wearing them, they were stiff. You could not move them. Look at Miss Kim, she's checking.
I'm like, okay, I need to check. I've got to keep my hair, Miss Pearl.
But it's the truth. I get a lot of clients, they may have traction, but the other thing I see is they don't have hair here. The hair is gone where the glasses are, so you have to make them aware. So when I put my glasses on, I put my glasses on like that. Their glasses can't open, so they're pushing it. And so they're going across that line every single time for however they've been wearing glasses. So these are things that, as a trichologist, as a stylist, actually, I recognize. But as a trichologist, I actually can point it out, because I've had clients to tell me, well, I didn't come here for you to tell me about my hair loss. I came here for you to do my hair. So when you're dealing with that, what I tell people, I said, well, you know what? I'm a trichologist. So when you see me, you see somebody different. If you don't want to see me, you should go to someone else. I mean, it's simple as that. You can go anywhere you want to go. Between my salon and your home, you probably passed the thousands of salons. Pick one. You could go there. Pick one.
Right.
You know, because I want to be serious about what I do, and the client always think they can fire us. Well, I let them know I can fire you too. You could be fired as a client.
I cannot have any available appointments for a year. Sorry. Basically. That's all you got to do.
You know, it's simple, but we don't have the guts to tell a client this is our protocol. And one thing that trichology brought in for us is that word protocol. You only hear protocols when you go to the doctor's office, dental office, because they have a protocol. The protocol is the most important thing. So no matter what your business is, no matter what you do, even a pastor had a protocol. Her first thing was to pray. That's a protocol. She follows her protocol before she does anything. Before she comes on, she prays. When she gets up in the morning, she prays. When she eats, she prays. So her protocol, she doesn't change. That's the whole point of a protocol. It's not changeable. It's something that you consistently do, something that you have to learn to do, and you have to constantly remember and practice it. So in our business and doing this, with telling people about the wigs, the bands that they use, how to take that tension away to help minimize distractions. When you let them know they need to come out of these services, it is devastating to them. So you have to find something that they can use to substitute it. I know that even with my hair being pulled back, I don't do this every day. I'm getting my hair done later, but it's not something I practice. I don't like ponytails. I don't like buns, because even when you put a bun or a clip, the clip is grabbing, and most of the time we're putting them in the same place, and it's doing this, and it's breaking those hairs. So that also can cause issues with the hair itself. My hair may be a bit different from a lot of people, but the more I see clients, the more common my hair abnormality is. I have an abnormality that is called trichomoniasis. So what happens is the hair literally knots, goes into the knots on the ends, and most people will feel that on the nape of their neck if they haven't done anything to the hair, relax it or anything. And you feel a little bit of beads on the end. So I think that's where them were back in the day called BBs in the back. Remember
The kitchen, the little
got some
BBD,
BBs back
you got
there.
the
You got some
BBs.
BBs. You need to straighten those BBs out. Well, it wasn't that easy when you really get into it. They're not always able to be straight. And what happens is you pull them if you're using the wrong tools. So you can go on, I can go on and on in reference to the different things that we need to do to prevent hair loss, to prevent traction alopecia, to understand what's going on with your hair or your scalp. And in doing so, that's how trichology seemed like it came along. But if those guys that are on here are cosmetologists, licensed trichologists, in our textbook, it actually touched on trichology and we skipped over it.
Yeah, we
Every
did.
cosmetologist had an introduction to trichology. Every single one of them when we were in school. When you had an introduction to scalp issues, you had an introduction to hair breakage, you had an introduction to it, but it was for up to us to continue that education after school. And a lot of people, when they think about it, they say, well, yeah, it really was in there. So you're already a trichologist. I trade, you just not certified. It takes more interest in a certain field. And like Miss Deborah, Miss Glass, her interest is color. I mean, her hair color is beautiful. I mean, it looks really, really nice. The cut looks really good on her, and she likes color. So, say someone like her, she would be a colorist and probably excellent. The same thing with trichologists. It's taking a niche of whatever's in that book that you enjoyed the most, and you focus on that, and you become the specialist that you are. So,
Wow,
if
that's
you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm available.
well,
You know,
Miss Diane or Deborah, you want to take it from here? Because again, just having been in the industry for as long as I've been in the industry, and Miss Pearl's been in the industry, we can really go on and on because there's so many arenas. And I love, what we're going to talk about later on, about mental health and just how all of that ties in. Because one of the things that we know about hair, skin, and nails, whatever's going on with the body, it's going to come through your hair, your skin, and your nails. But first is going to come, you're going to catch it through the hair.
mhm.
You're going to catch it
They
through the
say
hair.
that we see you more than your doctor see you. So we're the first line of defense. If we don't tell you as a trichologist, cosmetologist, a barber, if we don't tell you first, then we're missing the mark. We're not doing our job because at the first line of defense, we are that person. We
Mhm.
see you more than the doctors see you. So when we see something, we would like to be able to tell you, but like I said, you get clients that will say to you, I didn't come here for that. So you have to have a way to get around that and let them know, well, you may not have come for that, but this is something I recognize. And because I recognize this, I'm letting you know what you do with the information is really up to you. It is not up to us, but I really, really thank people for allowing me to serve them. It is really a blessing, and my business was based on Matthew's 25 and being able to take the talents that God gave me and make sure I increased it
Mm.
so that when it was time for him to say, what did you do with it? I present him all that I have been able to do. And when he can say to me, and it may not just be this, but this is a vehicle, to be honest, this is my vehicle to be a testimony to him
Mhm.
in
Mm.
every single way. And that's what I do every day with every client because I have no clue what I'm doing, but he does. So it is just making sure that when my time comes and I go before the Lord, that he would say, well done, my good and faithful servant, enter into my kingdom. That's
Mm.
what I want. And that's what I learned. And that's what our business is based on. And we have on our mirror, God, number one, in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declare the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but for a future and a hope. And sometimes people come in here hopeless.
Mm.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
when they come in here hopeless and downcast, you have to be ready for them. So I'm not a therapist, but I
Mhm.
am a child of the King. And I am a counselor for, not a counselor, but a woman of great price. So I've been able to learn more of what God expects of me as a woman. It is not just doing hair. It is not just being a mom, a grandmother, great grandmother. It's not just being a wife, but it is learning how to be a child for the kingdom, not just for me and my business.
Awesome, awesome. One of the things I want to say, Miss
Amen.
Pearl, is that you are. I think that all hairstylists are some type of way ministers because you have that person in that chair for hours. And if you have the opportunity to minister to their spirit, but also have the opportunity to serve them as the human being. And so you're ministering to them and you can minister to the total body of that person, spirit, soul, and body, that's what you're doing. And with me, I having, as I turned 22 for the fourth time around, working on this 22, and I'm working on it now for the fourth time. So I'm having hair loss, and I know it's because medication, and also because of using sewing for so long. I used to live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, excuse me, and I will fly into Detroit to get my hair done.
Yeah.
And so I would do all kind of weeds. Then I turn it back around, and then she started doing the braids, and then I slowed up on the braids, and I started using just wigs for about a year because of my hair was coming out on the edge. And then I was told, okay, wigs is not a good thing either, because now you're using a cap and you're putting this on. So I'm going, okay, what do I do?
Right.
Because I don't want to go around looking. Well, I won't say that, but anyway, I want to look halfway decent. But I noticed that my hair started thinning. And so someone said it was because of medication, because of high blood pressure medicine. So I'm getting off of high blood pressure medicine. And because I'm taking it less, I see my hair get a little bit stronger, but I still have the spots on the sides where it's been pulled. So I'm trying to find something to do for that.
You fly into Philadelphia, Diane, and you go to Miss Pearl's clinic, because what Miss Pearl has is not only a salon. She does have a salon, but where you see Miss Pearl right now is in her clinic, and that is where she works with her clients one-on-one. For the clients that she is focused on, that those of us that don't want to behave with our high lift hair color. I know she has her laser back there. She does what we call scoping. And what her scoping machine does, it gets right down to where she can see the follicle, the condition of the hair. If
You
the
just
products
got
that, look, even to the point, is the product that we're using the right product for us? This is what her machine does. It's just amazing. Yeah.
That. Okay, well, you just got a new client.
It's not just the machine. The machine allows us to see it. Your knowledge allows you to understand what you're seeing. It's
yes.
not, if the machines are a tool, yes, the tool helps us with our visual, but without the knowledge, people don't know what they're looking at, because when you get a client in a chair and they've never seen what their scalp look like, they go, whoa, oh my God.
Yeah.
And if you have any buildup on the hair, I mean, it's creepy. So what I did when I first started, I literally had to look at creepy pictures so that I would become immune to see, oh my God, oh God.
Yeah.
Right.
But you as a client have to be able to be comfortable to see what's going on with your scalp. And as you said, you still have hairline issues, but there are things like ornaments that are penetrating. So laser therapy, infrared therapy. So there are different therapies that you can use if a person has it in their salon, but they also need to know how to use it, because we also have clients that have used infrared lamps and they were under it too long, but they used it, they used it for color back in the day. And what they were doing was leaving the light on that client. Number one, it was too close. It was never supposed to be here. It literally supposed to be 18 or more inches away from the scalp.
Wow.
So with them having it so close, women were experiencing loss right down the middle, total destroyed. So what we call that is scarring alopecia. So they were actually getting scarred there, but they didn't know it, and the hair just continued to fall out. The stylist never addressed it, didn't know why it was happening, and they were the one causing it by letting them sit under that lamp too long and too close to allow that color to develop. And
Mm,
not knowing these things but not identifying it for your client was really to me an injustice. And so when I get clients like that and I see that it's a severe scar and it really looks like somebody burnt them. So that's what that
Mm.
lamp was doing. So when we do the treatment, we have a certain time per each client is customized. Everyone doesn't sit under it the same amount of time, because if they're thinning, you're going to take it down a notch. If they're on medication, you're going to take it down a notch. So there's a certain amount of time you're going to sit on. And then if you're on high blood pressure, you can't use it.
mm,
Mm.
That's something else they didn't tell people. That if you're on any type of steroid medication or even topical, you cannot use infrared, because infrared makes a cellular change. And so
Wow.
because of the cellular change, that's why people end up with so many scarring, because they didn't know that these people, or know to even take that information from them to find out. And it's in the manual when you get it, but a lot of people don't read manuals or read enough of it or research to find out who should use these tools.
Wow.
mm.
So there are things that you could do, scalp massages, oils, essential oils you could do. There are scalp therapies that we could recommend. There are scalp massages that we could recommend. And then the thing that you can have is high frequency. So if your salon is using something called high frequency, it's a rig. And I think if you guys remember, you're old enough, back in the day, it's a rake that looks like that, and it was a blue light, red light, and when that blue light, and it shocks you. Well, they have a direct and indirect one. So the person, if it's shocking you, so I tested on the person's hand. If they jump too much, I'm not going to use the direct. I'm going to use the indirect. The indirect is a bar, it's a tube, and you hold the tube, and then the person would touch wherever the affected area is and massage that area. You will feel the tingle because it literally goes through your body. So there are so many things that can be done, but you have to know the right tools to use and how long.
Mm, that's awesome. That's awesome. The other thing is that I know Deborah probably gonna say something about this, because Deborah actually created, something for us, that ladies that wear all the extensions and everything. But one of the things that I found out is that sometimes it's our shampoo too that we use, and in between coming to see you guys, we use the cheapest thing that we can find on the shelf.
Because we just hit it right quick. We just, this is just,
No,
I just need a little something.
yeah, the blue light special, at Kmart, that they have a special on, or you pass by and it's a clearance there, and you go, oh man, $1.
And the bottles look cute. It's got a cute
Yeah,
little
the
picture on
shampoo
it.
so we
And it smells good, ladies.
Yeah,
Don't
it
forget
smells
to open
good.
it up and it said, well, it smells good. It must
it
be
smells
good.
good, so
Pretty colors, this
it's okay.
bottle cute. This should
You
be
know,
all right.
so I think that's one of our problems too, is that we don't use the right shampoo in between there. Seeing, our beautician and things like that. And I think sometimes too, the women who wear the extensions go a little longer. I think trying to get that last, if you're paying $500 to get your hair done, you try to at least make it last at least 5 months or 4 months or
You
something.
want what is called is they get their money's worth, and getting your
Yes.
money's worth actually costs you money in the back end. It may
Yeah.
not, it may You may get your money's worth then by keeping the braids in for 3 months. But you don't realize that keeping the braids in for 3 months is causing you build up on your scalp, not just with the products you put on your scalp. It actually could cause fungus, because if you don't shampoo your hair, if you don't clean your scalp, you can actually attract other insects or environmental things to attach to your hair. Because one of the things that people do, they'll put pomade thinking they're cooling their scalp, but that pomade is also a magnet to attract germs from the air. So when it attracts that, when I look at it on the scope, there's a mess, literally. And
she does talk about the beard. She
knew you was gonna go there.
beard it had a bug in his beard, but he didn't know it. Oh my, woo! When Miss Pearl says ooh, there's some ooh out there.
That just gave me the willies.
But that's what happens with the clients. It gives them the creeps. But men, I mean, if you guys have a husband and they color their beard, tell them to shampoo it. Because when I did a scope exam 2 years ago as a day of service. So we do Martin Luther King Day of Service. Miss Kim assists us with it, her and Mr. James. And we did it at a barber shop, which was my nephew's barber shop. And the barber that's there, one of the head barbers, is also an instructor. So he came over and Wayne sat down in a chair and he said, I'm going to be your first one. You go ahead and do me, scope me. Well, he's bald. So I said, well, I can scope your beard.
Oh, no.
I scoped his beard. And I wish I could show you the picture. But when I tell you, it was, I'm serious, you guys. It was so creepy. The barbers, like we had a whole bunch of people there. And so I was giving my service away. So the barbers had gathered around to look at this. And when they did, they came over. So they came over and they like, ew, man. I mean, they were just loud. And I had to stop and tell them, I said, you know what? If you guys act like that, you're going to frighten other people from coming over and sitting in the chair because they're going to be scared of what they're going to find as well. I said, you can't do that. You have to have some ethics. You cannot yell, scream, and go make faces. But Mr. Wayne, when he saw, I mean, he had, the color was in the pores. It was still sitting there. And with men with a beard, their pores are bigger and the pores are open. And so he didn't know whether it was a worm sitting in his face or not. He jumped up out of that chair and he went and shampooed his beard. What they're doing is letting the color sit and they're not taking it all out. And when they don't take it all out and you eat and you go outside, think about it. You eat, you're going outside. They're putting this stuff on the beard, calling themselves softening the beard. The same thing that happens with the head happens with the beard. Oh, wow. So I had scoped men's beard and found infections under their beard because they didn't scrub their beard. So they take the brush and they brush it. The other thing, they're not cleaning that brush. Oh, wow. So they taking that brush and they pounding their skin and brushing their skin. Bacteria's on that brush and they're not cleaning it. So if they're not cleaning that brush, they're putting that bacteria on their face after they just washed their face, cleaned their face. So a lot of things for me didn't make sense. So when you inform people about what they're doing and you show them, then they think about it totally different. It's a totally different animal when you go there. But it's a lot of things. I even had to tell my husband when he does his beard. Now my husband has more stuff in the shower than I do. Beard, and he's bald, but it's stuff in the shower just for his beard. And there's 5 things in there, because he knows that he got to keep it clean. He has a brush. He has the, you do the works, but you have to inform people. And that's the only way that they're going to know that these things are going on. But when it comes to your braids, even weaves, now, if they start smelling, if you put your hand up there and you smell it, take it out.
Take it out.
Right.
Take it out.
Take it out.
Yeah, I have a little trick I was told by my hairstylist years ago, and thank God, because it helped me, because I work out a lot and I sweat from my head, and I have weave on, and I got a lot of my own natural hair under here, and it would get sweaty. And so she told me to go buy the antiseptic, the sea breeze from the actual, not the regular for your face, but the professional grade sea breeze.
Right.
And I put that through my scalp. So she said either use that or witch hazel to make sure that my scalp stays cleaned off, that sweat and that sweat, that all of that stuff. And it doesn't clear it all the way up, but it definitely has made would make a big difference. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What the sea breeze and witch hazel does is make the scalp feel better, but it doesn't remove anything. No, it doesn't. Okay. All it's doing is making your hair feel better because it didn't get rid of the bacteria.
Got it.
I agree with it, but you should shampoo like every workout, rinse.
Yeah. Not just, I would do that too. Yeah.
Just put that sea breeze on. You can put the sea breeze on and massage it.
Right.
And then get in the shower and let it rinse. Because if it's not rinsed out, it didn't go anywhere.
It didn't go anywhere. It was just standing there. And I didn't go through all the steps, but that would be something. I wouldn't do that all the time, but that would be something like maybe every other week that I would do, because it would stay. I don't want it to be damp underneath, so every time,
Tanya.
Every time.
Well, what's the point of me having a weave if I got
every time you
that sounds like the Caucasian women. They wash their hair every time they get in the shower. I can't wash my hair
every time.
Yeah, I'm learning that. I'm learning that we as the Caucasian ladies, like she said, wash every time, and 2 and 3 times a day sometimes their hair, because they get in the shower and everything. But we are so sensitive about our hair, and then our weave, even if we get human weave, we go, "Ooh, I can't put no water on my."
Well, and that's the thing. I'm not even worried about that part. It is the sorry, call came through. It is the it's getting it, waiting for it to dry underneath. That's the part that
I know
that because I'm not worried about this part. Bounce back just fine.
If you put the sea breeze on it and you massage it in, you're lifting, but you have to really think about the theory. Think of theory wise.
Yeah, no, I got it. I hear it. If I don't rinse it off, I just scrubbed it, and then it's gonna settle right back from where I just scrubbed it from. I got it. It's not rocket science. It makes sense. I got it.
And then the thing is, when I do clients, yes, I shampoo their hair. And I get in there and I spray it, and I have topical treatments that we use. We also put them under the mister to help it lift. But with all of that, it's how long you leave it. When you take your weaves out or your braids, you see that big clump of lint.
Yes.
At that root.
Yes.
That's where all of the dirt went. It didn't go anywhere. So
yeah, I got it. I got it.
Teachers.
I know it. I got it. I don't know if I want to have it, but I got it.
Oh, Tanya, don't worry. You should have saw me when I went in. See, we think it's this kind of hair and that kind of hair. That has nothing to do with what's going on with your scalp. Miss Pearl gave me an ultimatum. She said, Miss Kim, you can wear blonde, and have no hair eventually with
Okay.
this high lift,
Right.
or you can start growing that hair back. It's your choice though. I mean,
Right.
I'm just giving you the facts. This is
We
what
got
I'm
free will.
scoping.
We have free will. Yes.
He said, look, this is the results of your scoping.
Free Willy up, huh?
Now you have a choice.
Yes.
You're not going to regress in age. The hair is getting older. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, Miss Pearl, how come there's only 3 strands here and there's only 1 strand here and there's no strands there? You're losing your hair. Stop all that high lift color. That might have worked 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm making choices. I don't.
You're making
Yeah,
choices.
we'll see, Tanya.
I know.
You're making
Listen.
choices. That is something. What is that, Miss Pearl? You're putting up something.
Yeah.
What's that?
So what I'm showing you is sometimes if we scope you, you don't realize that's what you're seeing.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's inflammation.
Mhm.
Causes some of the conditions that people are experiencing, that inflammation.
Right.
You know, so what happens is you don't realize, and then when you work out,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's a buildup of sebum, sweat.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be sweat or sebum. Either one is not good.
Right.
And that's on your scalp. So what we have to do is recognize and tell people about the things that they're dealing with and the disorders that they're creating. So some of these things are things that people don't realize they're allergic. They could be allergic to the hair. So when the apostle said, I don't want to wet my hair because I just got it done, I wouldn't put a weave in your head if I didn't shampoo it first.
yeah, yeah,
They're putting hair from India.
Right.
yeah.
India.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Were their hygiene techniques are
You're
far
putting,
and few between
hair
sometimes.
from India. You're putting hair from China in your hair. And you mean to tell me you're not going to shampoo it before you put it in there? You're from overseas. What the heck are you talking about? So I shampooed every hair before I put it in someone's hair. But these young people, they don't shampoo nothing. They don't shampoo it. What happens is you don't know. I saw a video and I was a part of this trying to buy a company. It was WAJ, and they were Black owned in New York. And this was back in the 90s when the husband, he first started the company. Then the wife and the sister took over when he passed. And then the grandson was going to sell the business. So I had gone to New York trying to buy the business. And one of the things that he talked about was how they loop the hair, and they're on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing that hair. They're on the floor. They're not sitting at a table.
Mm.
They're on the floor.
Say that again, Miss Pearl. They're on the floor
They're on the floor
with the hair
With the hair
that somebody's going to put in their hair.
in their hair.
in their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so with them being on the floor, because they're sitting, their legs wide apart, and the loop, the hackle is big. It's a large hackle. So that hackle, they don't clean that hackle.
Mm.
Come on. So y'all don't really want me to keep going because then I'm gonna
No, because I was feeling good about my hair this morning. I thought I did a good job, whatever. But let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Look, Tanya, I did too till I got that scoping. When I got my scope done, I was telling everybody, I don't even know if I'm going to stay blonde anymore. I don't even know.
Issue about being blonde. Well,
Right.
Oh, because when she did my scoping, it shows your scalp and there's hair follicle that's not growing the hair anymore. And then as we're getting older, is that me? Oh, no, that's not me. But as we're getting older, the hair is getting older. And like she said, your hair, because remember, hair grows from the inside out. So I don't have to I don't have a 30-year-old body anymore. It's not 40 anymore. So there's also the replenishing of nutrients at 50 and over that we have to do that I didn't have to worry about at 30 and 40 years old. So there's that factor.
Right.
And so she says, it's just the reality of it. And it's high lift blonde. It's 40 volume with.
Is it also permed?
It has nothing to do with perm. She said it's all color. I was coming up with everything, Deborah. She said it is the color. Okay, leave that color alone. Or the consequence, Miss Kim, is that your hair will continue to thin until eventually you'll be coming and asking me, what can I do about all this space? And it's not so bad right now. I mean, it isn't. It's just when she scoped it, she gives you the future of what
it
your
looks
hair
like.
will be like.
Yeah.
But now it's starting. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not starting. That was what startled me. How come there's 3 hairs? You should have 3 hairs per follicle, at least. How come there's 3 hairs growing out of there? There's none over here, and there's 1 over here, and then the back looks better than the front. And you guys got to get scoping. You got to get that service. That in itself is a 2-hour, right? Just the getting your hair and scalp scope. It's 2 hours.
Wow.
Tell the women that wear hair weave, hair extension, as to what they should do about keeping their edges and not losing their hair. What do you tell them? Not to wear it?
You said the women that wear hair weaving? Say it again.
Yes. What do you tell women who wear hair weaving, the hair weave, and it is taking their hair out? What do you tell them? Not to wear it? What do you tell them?
I tell them you should take it off.
You should take it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Well, the reason why I asked is because my daughter-in-law was wearing hair weave. Okay, I never wore hair weave, and I've always worn my hair pretty much short and color. And I don't do perm, and color. So especially at the top, And so my daughter-in-law was wearing hair weave, hair extension. She had beautiful hair. And every time I would see her, she was wearing the weave. Her hair, when I see her hair was constantly thinning out. And I was like, why are you damaging your hair like that? And at the time she was busy and she said, I don't have time to do my hair, and this is quicker and this is easier. So I never wore hair weave. I didn't even know what it looked like. So I said, okay, well, let me experiment and see if I can help her come up with a better method. So I came up with a way to take the hair weave, and I added a special comb for like our hair all the way across the width of the weave, and allowed her to be able to have her hair braided, take care of her hair, and take the weave in and out. So she could actually take the weave out at nighttime. She didn't have to keep it in. Therefore, she could take care of her hair. Her hair had gotten so bad that she ended up cutting all her hair up like really short, and then just going with what I call the comb and weave. That was my invention. All of her hair grew back. Her hair is beautiful now. She can wear weave or not wear weave because of her hair is all thick and beautiful now. But the invention was to take care of women who really want to wear weave, but need to take care of their hair at the same time.
So this here is a mannequin that I use in my class, or actually for my clients. So one of the things when you're wearing a weave, if you're wearing a weave and the hair is being pulled from here, anywhere around the hairline, it's going to pull and cause thinning. The other thing is, if you see women or anybody doing this,
you need to wash it. The hair is
oh, it's not just shampooing. They also may have an allergic reaction.
Okay.
Or it could be too tight. Sometimes the braids or something were too tight, and that was part of the reason.
Tight, but you also have an allergic reaction to the hair. So if that hair is touching your scalp and you start off beating your head, that's not just because it's too tight, it's allergic reaction. And people don't think of it that way.
Right.
That's one thing.
They wash the hair too, right? Like you talked about the hair itself that they're putting on. They didn't wash that hair. So
they can be having, So the presentation I saw was talking about, and this was years ago, a company, he said that people were actually putting mites on the tracks, on the hair. So there were mites on it, and then they came out with a product to help you with the mites.
Yep.
But you didn't know it was mites
In the hair.
and so
it already started out. You started out
so it made people buy
behind the
other
line.
products. So this is the
Mhm.
thing. If you're going to put a weave on to keep and hold your hair, because like you said, I tell people to come out of it, but I also have a solution if they have to wear it. Don't wear the whole, don't wear 50 tracks.
Mhm.
You wear your hair, and there's a way to make the wax to put it in, number one. Number two, I make hand-tied wax. So if I can get up for you and just go get this wax.
And Miss Deborah, no, I do not wear relaxer. All my color has been just like you, just color.
Just color,
Yeah.
not color and perm, right?
Right. Yeah.
This is a hand-tied wax.
Okay.
You see how thin that is?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That's how thin it is.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So this wax this was made for a client out of this hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we make this wax. So when you put this wax on, it was custom. So I actually measured her circumference.
Right.
So this is what I would say to a person to make a wax, because sometimes they're braiding too tight and it's dragging, and the braid may be too big. And when they comb it, they're combing on that braid. But now that they're putting the cap on, the net on, and then putting it over there, your hair has nothing to breathe. It's not. So what I do is I take you see, so you make a circle.
Mhm.
So of course this looks backwards to me. So you make a circle, you link it, and then you link everything to the next one. So you're never pulling on the person's
On
hair.
your actual hair. Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So
I got it.
that to create the look that you have, Miss Tanya, that is exactly how I would do it. I never did track.
Right.
So my
Right.
tracks, the way my clients didn't lose hair. I had clients that came in almost bald. They got the weaves because I used to make these. So this is what went on the top of their hair. Even if they were able to get heavier tracks, they didn't get them up here. We custom. And if a person wanted to wear their hair like Mr. Boer, I weaved in a track like this and cut it. It blended in the hair. So it wasn't straight lines. It was like this because I also did the machine method and the Christina method. So they have the pole method, the machine method, and then the interlocking. So all of these techniques, learning all these techniques is what helped me to save and have people hair grow that didn't have any hair when they first came.
Right.
Wow.
Well, for me, I had a similar situation as Ms. Deborah was talking about her daughter-in-law. I had an allergic reaction to braids. So I've been wearing weave for years, and my hairstylist, I go to the same hairstylist, I've been going to her for years. She takes very good care of my hair. And my hair, she would get mad at me all the time. She said, Tanya, this weave, your hair is longer than this weave I'm putting in your hair. And my hair is so thick. And so she'd be like, I gotta get ready for when you come in, because I gotta get through my own natural hair because it's so thick. And then she was like, Tanya, she was like, your hair is longer than what we're putting in. I said, I know. I said, but this hard in Vegas, this hard water and all this stuff, it would just break my hair off. It would just, and would be working out. It just really wasn't working out. And so I stayed in the weeds. Well, I got into a really bad car accident in 2019. And I only had this arm that I could use. So all my other 3 limbs were broken. And so I had been thinking about getting braids and getting into braids. And I was like, okay, this is the time to get into braids because I'm not going to be able to really do my hair. And so I got in the braids, and I'm thinking I must have had an allergic reaction, because every time I got in the braids, I was like, okay, I like these braids, they're cute. But every time I would go back, I would be thinking, now my hair should be way longer than what it was. And it wasn't seeming longer. And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. I was like, I am getting a little older. Maybe I'm not seeing good in this mirror. Maybe I'm tripping. But my hair was seeming a little lighter. And so it kept progressing. I kept saying, this is still not getting the same. So I was like, you know what? I'm coming out of these braids, and I'm just going to go into a ponytail for a little while. And so then that took me back to my regular hairstylist, because the braids took me to someone else. So the ponytail took me back to my regular hairstylist. And so again, in my mind, I'm like, maybe I'm just tripping. And so before I went to see her, I had to cut the braids out. So I go in there with just my hair out. She was like, Tanya, where is your hair? And I said, I thought maybe I was just tripping. And she was like, it's all gone. And she was showing me, like you said, with the mirror in the back. And she was like, look, it's like it. I mean, it was gone. And I'm thinking those braids, and I would try to change the quality of the braids because I was new to the braids. And so, the stylist would just say, oh, go get 10 packs of this, whatever, and not really tell you specific brands or whatever the case may be. And so then I'm noticing, I'm like, I don't really like this quality of the braids. So every time I would go, I would try to get like a better brand, but it was literally taking my hair out. And I guess I just had this allergic reaction. In addition to, at the time, my job was very stressful at the time. And I was working at in a location where they used to detonate bombs. And so the chemicals that were out there. And so it wasn't just me that my hair was thin, and my coworkers, and they were Caucasian, and their hair was just falling out. Like they would just do this and do this. And so when we got the ponytail in, we got me going back, and then I was still going to work where I was, and it was very stressful. And I prematurely grayed. And so I would always cover my gray. And one of the reasons with the weave is that if I keep all of my hair in, then I don't have to worry about coloring it. And but I had this spot on the side. I kept looking at this spot, and I was like, is that gray? Is that dandruff? What is that? It was a bald spot. And I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. So it was either a culmination of the stress on the job, whatever was going on in that little town, because they have a high rate of cancer, and they have grants to give people automatically because it goes from 0 to stage 4 immediately. And I was like, okay, I need to get out of here, clearly. And then even some of the inmates, one of the girls, she kept saying, Miss Tanya, my hair is falling out. And I kept saying, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But this was before I realized that mine was, because it was under the braid. So I didn't realize it. And she was Caucasian as well. She kept saying, I'm losing my hair. And she was housed up in the jail that was up in that place too. So it's so many things, and you don't even know what's going on. So you're like, okay, is it the stress? Then you get stressed because you're losing your hair, and you don't know why you're losing it. So then that has some stress on top of it, because your mind can go in a million places as to what's going on, And so, so I got out of then I just went back into this, because my hair was gone. Like it couldn't really, the ponytail couldn't even really, like I had good edges, and I still have good edges, but I was just like, I need to just totally protect my hair. So I came back in. So for me, I found that my hair, it started growing back. It grew back really good. It's not back to where it was, but it's growing back really good. And then plus I'm not in that little town anymore. So I have no idea, but I think I had an allergic reaction to the braids is what started. And I don't know.
And it's a combination of the toxin from where you were working that also could cause some things. So a lot of people don't realize that toxins in the air, pollution is in the air, could cause hair loss. But for a stylist or braiders, I'm gonna tell you right now, braiders don't tell you losing anything.
They don't tell you anything. And I was thinking the same thing. I said, why did she tell me? Like, she don't tell me. She did not tell me. So I said, I'm just coming in here, and you just braiding. You don't realize that the last time I was in here, you just decided you weren't gonna say nothing to me. Oh yeah, you won't be getting my business anymore.
Well, because they have a different kind of license.
They have a different kind of license. And a different type of mindset too. they're not thinking that you're coming back every 2 weeks. They thinking you're coming back every 3 months. So they have a
Mhm.
different type of mindset altogether about doing your hair and about hair altogether. But I found out that, you
Yep.
know, they really don't have that mindset that a stylist would have
Mhm. Mhm.
about your hair or treating your hair or taking care of your hair.
Mhm.
Their mindset is not there. The
Yep.
caregiving part is not there. So all they're there is to just put the braids in and
Put
get you
them.
out.
Turn it out.
Yeah.
Get you out.
So
Get the braids done.
it's
Get you out.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. So we ladies, it's 1 o'clock. Uh,
Oh,
we've had an awesome
we did
time
it. Yes.
and everything, but I'm gonna let everybody come back and just give that takeaway. But Tanya, I want you to, my niece, she can talk. So I'm gonna
I've done my part. I've said my part. Stress,
but
anxiety, depression. If your hair is gone, it's going to add back to it.
so I want you to, yeah, just say something about the mental health part of it, of going through that. And then we're just going to let everybody come on in and chime in. And then we're going to close out. I've enjoyed this. Miss Pearl, you are awesome. You just got another client. I'm going to get my ticket and be coming to where you're at. Because I definitely need help with hair growth and to just to stimulate it and everything. I'm not a color person. I don't do the light colors or anything like that, but I do have to get rid of some of this gray. And I don't have a perm, haven't had a perm for years, but I do see the thinning and everything. And I know that I'm part of a whole group of women out there that are thinning because of the age part of it, thinning because of relaxing and all this and all that
No,
stuff.
Miss Pearl
No,
said, no, we've been
no,
conditioned.
we've been conditioned. Miss Pearl, it ain't the
Said
age.
no.
Age is not a reason to lose your hair.
Say it's not. Miss Pearl, I'm coming. I'm on a plane coming to you now.
A lot of times people think age because that's what we were told. But
Yes.
age is not a reason to lose hair. We have people that have long, thick, beautiful hair. It's the systemic things that may be going on that's causing it as we get older. Menopause will help you lose hair if you don't get it under control. So in getting under control, you have to take supplements or nutrition that helps put back what you were losing because of the body changing. So the all of those things are factors. So you have to take in more than just age.
I'm doing it. Yes, I'm doing it. So Miss Kim, your
Yes.
takeaways.
Yeah. And so, what I love about this is, it is a ministry.
Mhm.
Our health and well-being, God tells us this is the temple. And if we don't take care of it, we are still doing an injustice. And I love Ms. Pearl, what she said, we want to be, when we go before God, we want him to say,
well done.
good and faithful servant,
Yeah.
well
Right.
done.
Well done.
And so I'm just grateful that I can bring women like Miss Pearl and meet, Miss Tanya. You're going to just be automatically a part of our network, and Diane will tell you more about that. Having
Okay.
met Deborah last week, so ladies, we're up for some big things, and I know there's some men out there that are also watching.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just stay tuned. Let's grow the audience. There's a lot of information that needs to be put out in our community. And Ms.
Yeah.
Pearl, I just want to say thank you again. Tanya, thank you. Deborah, thank you. And Apostle Diane. Mwah.
Mwah. Miss Deborah,
It was
closing time.
exciting listening to all of this information. And again, my background is not hair or cosmetology or anything. However, I did ask God, what would he have me to do? And that product that I created for my daughter-in-law was a solution for a lot of women who wanted to wear hair extensions. But it wasn't just that. It was asking, what can we do in terms of bringing money back into our community to help our people? So my real cause and mission is to use that product in order to do that. And the same as Dudley's. And I never knew that. I didn't know him when God gave me this product, but that was always, my mission, to use that product to bring those dollars back and circulate them back into our community and help our people. So, I know that God has given us all gifts, talents, and abilities. And I know that my ask God, which is what my book got created from, was just going to him and asking. And I do that on a regular basis. But I just believe that, again, when it's all said and done, Ms. Pearl, you said it, you hit the nail on the head. For me, it's always been, when I stand before him, I want to hear him say, come on in, my good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
So that's that. You just touched my heart when you said that, because that's not a lot of times what you'll hear people working towards, so that's my same, goal, is to please him.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so exciting because we're here to serve.
Yes.
Our main focus of our life is here to serve. And if you're not serving somebody, you're not doing the work of the kingdom. And the only way that we're going to expand the kingdom is to we come together using our gifts and our talents to expand the kingdom of God. It's not a whole all I got, just me and my four, no more. The walls have come down, and it's time for us as kingdom people to go out and advance, bringing these amazing women and men together in the kingdom of God to advance the kingdom of God through our gifts and our talents. And I truly believe that that's what this platform is all about, is to bringing amazing people together and allow them to use their gifts and their talents that they're already using already. It's like I'm in Detroit and Miss Pearl is in Philadelphia. You know what? I just got a thing from Southwest the other day. Coming to Philadelphia, and you know how much it is to get to Philadelphia, a one-way ticket now to get to Philadelphia, $48.
Oh, wow.
What? Wow.
I need to go on there right quick and buy me a 3 or 4 tickets.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
Yes.
God.
It's amazing. That's God. I didn't know you were in, and I was strolling down Philadelphia, $48. Oh my God, who do I know? What do I need to do in Philadelphia?
Right.
Hey, now what has happened? Meeting you, God has already showed me I can get a ticket from Detroit to come there. So God always have a way, make a way, and he connect those to those people and things that we need in our life. Don't stop looking and stop begging God to do something. Just open up your eyes to what he's already doing, and the opportunity is already there. So I just applaud you, ladies. Thank you this afternoon for being a part of the midweek Bid Hub with the Masters. And I appreciate you so much. We're going to close out. And we thank God for you guys who are showing up on YouTube and showing up on Facebook with us. And just remember, we're here every Wednesday from 12 to 1, midweek with the Masters. God bless you. Have a good week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's still recording.
It is. And she's gone.
Okay. Oh, she's gone, but it's still. Miss Pearl, I need to get your information. I have a really good friend of mine, and she is suffering with the alopecia. And she's been going to get all type of blood work and things done, and she's come to. There's been no resolve in terms of what's going on with her, and so she just keeps trying and trying and trying and trying. And I know she would. I know she would love to be able to come to you, and you be able to really give her some insight as to perhaps what's going on with her hair.
And Ms. Pearl, can you give information, because we should have asked you that while we were on air.
It's in the chat.
Oh,
is it in the chat?
Yeah, she just dropped it in the chat. I also want to say that Miss Pearl also trains hairstylists, cosmetologists, barbers. We have a whole training program that she's put together. And yes, Miss Pearl and Victoria just adores Miss Pearl. I know they're getting ready to to connect, because Victoria's like, I'm just so busy. Miss Pearl's busy, but I need her number.
As long as my hairstylist is connected, I'm in good hands.
Yeah. Oh, you are in good hands. Victoria's already made the connection, and I believe she and Miss Pearl have conversed at least one time. And Tanya, feel free to introduce your stylist to Miss Pearl. She loves teaching.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
educating.
Oh yeah. I would.
She
Yeah.
loves it.
I'll definitely do that. And she'll be interested because she likes to learn new things. I'm out here in Las Vegas, but she
Vegas
can,
is fine. She
yeah.
teaches international.
Okay. Okay.
Miss Pearl has traveled the world educating.
Okay. Okay.
And
Most
the other
definitely
part
do.
I would be interested in, Ms. Pearl, is the top part that you were saying that you create for people who wear hair extensions, because that part I did not put anything in place for anybody who wears my product. So that would be perfect, because that's the part where normally they want to cover. And that's the piece that my daughter and we were working on to see how we would cover it for those who wanted to wear.
This is one of the things that I created early on because of the traction, pulling, and it's just a technique of application. The technique of applying this trap and the thinness and being very neat, even when you're making a braid, it's about being neat and not dragging. You know what I mean by dragging? When you pull and you're pulling and you're going further, and so the braid looks slanted, the braid opposed to look like it's coming in. I think like I had a French braid. So when I wear my French braid, I make sure that it's coming from right here, not here to there.
Right.
So that's dragging when you're pulling something up or down. And so when you're braiding, it's the same thing with braiding. You don't want to drag the hair. You want to pick it up and braid it right where it is. That's one thing. Using cords to braid opposed to using commercial hair. And if you're going to use commercial hair, use human, what we call, we actually call it commercial hair. We don't call those hairs that come from anywhere human, because we didn't see it come off of somebody's hair. So it's called the commercial hair that we use. And so even this is commercial hair. So I didn't see it come off of somebody's head, but it's commercial hair. That's how we call it in the profession. The other thing about using and making these, so I also do classes teaching people how to do it. Guess what? Anybody can do and take the class, because it's not something that a trichologist, cosmetologist, or anybody in the field have to be licensed. It's something that you just teach people, because the people that actually cut these hairs aren't people that make the weaves, aren't cosmetologists.
Right.
So with doing that, making a piece like this, the cord is a different type of cord. The other thing, we don't cut the cord, so that's why you measure. You see, you measure the track. So if you're going to measure the track, you're going to measure, because you're going to put it in a circle. You're going to put it below where the hair blows.